Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Universe Answers. I'm Daniel. We're just going to allow a few more people to join in today, and we'll be taking questions about the law of attraction, about manifesting, creating the life that was intended for you, allowing in the life that was intended for you. So by all means, ask questions. As I said, we're just going to wait a few moments for more to join, but I'll be taking questions and love to answer some of your biggest burning questions about what you want to create in your life. And I'm just being passed the questions page here. So we're all good. Now I've got that nice and handy, so I can't see it on the screen. Am I meant to be able to see this on the screen? No, all good. All right. I've got a little bit of help here just to make sure we're all going. Yes, great. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is the law of attraction and in action, law of attraction in action. And I want to give a little bit of background, a little bit deeper of an understanding as to what this is all about. Now, who saw the movie The Secret years ago, back in 2006, 2007? Who saw that? I think pretty much half the planet got to see that one. Hi there, Nick. It's kind of what we're doing. Yes, I'm just answering a few questions here. I've got the questions on the phone. So I was recently in a follow-up to that called Beyond the Secret, The Awakening. So I highly recommend you guys check that out. That's called Beyond the Secret, The Awakening. And in that doco, I had the opportunity to take everyone's understanding so much deeper, and even my own, which was a real pleasure. Now, my expertise, just so everyone has a little bit of a background, is being able to tap into, you can call it the consciousness of the universe, the knowing, the intelligence of the universe to answer our biggest questions. And I've been doing that most of my life. I was even doing it when I didn't know I was doing it. But it really became a big thing for me in my teens, in my 20s, and from that point on up until now into my 40s. So that's what I do. I connect into the universe to answer people's biggest questions, primarily to answer my biggest questions, which are also everyone else's. And from that, we've created all our amazing training that many of you are familiar with on intuitionwisdom.com. But when I was given the opportunity to go onto this doco, to me it was, okay, great. This is an impetus to go to the universe and go deeper on this subject. And I love that. I love having that reason, that incentive to go and sit and ask questions. And I had a long flight over to the US to go even deeper and even before that. So just a few really powerful insights just around the law of attraction. It is happening. It is always happening. And a lot of us are under the impression that I'm not good at this, I'm not good at manifesting, I'm not great at creating. And that's one of the biggest misconceptions, is we are always creating. We are always creating and manifesting, ultimately designing our reality, what we experience and what we don't. The trouble, though, in terms of whether we're seeing it and experiencing what we want, is so much of what we're manifesting is coming from our past, rather than what we want and what we've grown to desire for ourselves. Most of what we're creating is coming from our subconscious mind, which is our beliefs. It's based on what we've experienced in the past, who we've come to believe we are as a result of that. So the universe is mirroring back to us what we believe we are worthy of, what we believe we are entitled to, what we believe is possible, and what we believe is easy and simple and most likely. So, and this can be a tough concept to allow in, that what we're experiencing is actually what we imagine. what we've imagined for ourselves. And be it tragedy, trauma, struggle, hardship, success, abundance, flow, harmony, at some point in time, we have imagined these experiences for ourselves. So the law of attraction is not really about what the movie The Secret said it was about. That was all about what do you want? And that's what you'll experience. Rather, the law of attraction is better said in these terms. What you imagine for yourself is what you are going to experience, be it a positive or a negative experience. The universe is not discriminating. So how we're imagining ourselves, how we're imagining life is the experiences we have. And you can look back countless times going, oh, I knew that was going to go wrong, and I knew that wasn't going to come off, and I knew this was going to happen, or in a positive way, yes, I knew that was going to happen too. So you get to see that what we're imagining is actually being manifest into our experience. Physically as well, countless people expecting themselves to get cancer, and they manifest that. We expect ourselves to age. That's just the default setting. So we expect certain things to run in the family, illnesses, symptoms, aches, pains, and so we ultimately manifest many of those as well. Some of those are a little bit require a little bit more conversation, but gives you a powerful idea as to what we're imagining shows up in our physical experience. So I've got a few questions here. So let me just take a minute to look at those and just see what's going on here. Give me 1 second. Okay, there's a lot going on. All right. Hello, everyone. Sophie and Nellie. Okay, all right. So I'm just trying to get to the actual questions here. Beautiful. All right. So I'm not quite getting the exact question. If you guys want to be really concise with your questions, then I can take you into some nice deep places of truth. And that brings up one of the most fundamental, important, and overlooked areas of manifesting and the law of attraction. And that is this concept, or this word, very powerful one, called truth. And it's one of those things that's difficult to define, but when we hear truth and when we speak truth, when we're in a space of truth, it's unmistakable. In simple language, the universe works in truth. The universe speaks in truth. Wisdom is in truth. Love is truth. Joy is truth. Nature is truth. The flip side to that is what we call the mind. And the mind has been built up to be this amazing thing. And currently in our evolution, the mind is made up of our beliefs. And if you look at the word belief, you'll see a word inside that. And the word is lie. So we have truth and we have belief. Now, beliefs are not truth. Otherwise, they'd be called truth. But we're manifesting predominantly from this place of belief, from lies. And that's why we end up in suffering. So if we try and manifest from, I'm not good enough, and I need people to be impressed by me, and I need more in life, and I need to achieve, they're what we call beliefs or non-truths. So then the experiences that we manifest from that, they don't feel good. In fact, they create more suffering, more pain and heartache and more struggle. When we're in a place of truth, which is things like self-love, self-belief, wanting to give to the planet and look after nature and be from a space of pure love and gratitude and appreciation, and from spaces of worthiness, they're truthful spaces. When we manifest from those beautiful spaces, we create truly the life of our dreams and even a life beyond our dreams. So that is what role I played in the film Beyond the Secret. Is I really wanted to impart to people that there are two different places to manifest from. One is from the mind, from our needs and greed and insecurities. And that's where a lot of our goals have come from. I need a bigger house or a flashier car or a better job or all these things. Most of those needs are based on I'm not enough. I never was. I need people to think of me as more. I need respect. And the universe is saying, whoa, 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 whoa. You're going to manifest the wrong things from that space. You're going to manifest situations that need healing, not situations that are perfect the way that you want to create. So we need to come back into a space of truth. And truth is so powerful because it creates the life we want, but it also heals us. When we're in a space of truth, the body just celebrates. Essentially, all illness is coming from being in non-truth about who we are, about what this world or reality is. So the more we come into truth, and I wrote a whole book about that called Mind Lies and the Truths That Will Set You Free. It's there to clear your beliefs for you, clear the non-truths. So check that out, Mind Lies. So the more we come back into truth, the more the body just says, thank you, that's what I've been asking for. And once we're in that vibrational frequency of truth, there's so much more that becomes available to us. Our intuition goes through the roof. We start attracting more ideas, more powerful realizations, different people, opportunities. The truth opens up every door. So I'm just going to check back on these questions. I've seen a few come in, and we'll just see if we can answer a few more things. Yes, so that's a really big one. We had a comment here from Casey. I really need to get out of my mind more so I can hear my true self. Never has a more important and truest statement been made. The mind self, which is the past, the beliefs, it's essentially everything that still needs healing in your life. That has a voice, and we've been listening to it every day since we were very young. It tells us we're not good enough. It tells us we're going to fail, and it tells us we have already. That voice is noisy, whereas the true self, which is the voice beneath this whole mind-based identity, is very quiet and requires a very still mind and awareness over the feelings in the body to perceive that. It doesn't shout like the ego mind. It's very quiet and talks in feelings and pictures, and even you can hear it on it depends on, everyone kind of perceives messages differently. You can see visuals, you can feel it in the body, you can hear voices. But when this chatter, this clutter of the mind, when we get to still that, that's when we really can hear some truth. So very important that. Some very powerful ways to learn to silence the mind. And we have a free program on our website at Intuition Wisdom that will teach you how to do it in about 30 seconds. So please go and check that out. That's in our Boost Your Intuition program and our Limitless You. Until you check that out, get really clear on getting off media. And I know it's a funny thing because that's how you and I are connecting. But if you can, when you're not in this space, turn the internet off, the Wi-Fi, turn the phones off, stop looking up social media if you find yourself being bored or watching TV. And there's times you can totally do that to relax and unwind, but give yourself more time without that noise, without engaging the mind. And we live in a world that's very conditioned. Rather go for walks in nature. You don't have to meditate in the sense of meditation, sitting there in lotus position, because really what meditation is ultimately all about is stilling the mind. Stilling the mind that you can hear your true self. That's what meditation is for. And when you still the mind, the body heals. When you still the mind, you can hear that subtlety of the higher self talking to you, filling you with insight and guidance. So spend time. If you want to still the mind, you kind of got to do the opposite of what has been created by the mind. So everything in this world has either come from truth or it's come from the mind, from ego. Now, whatever the mind creates, okay, let's just say TV, internet, I should say, social media, anything artificial, mind-made, is going to put you in ego. Advertising, magazines, whereas anything that's come from truth, such as I'm looking at a beautiful beach out my window here, the ocean, listening to the waves, the trees, the forest, animals, cuddling a puppy, anything that has come from truth is going to keep you in truth. Loving your children, your husband, your wife. Whereas anything that's been born from the mind is going to bring you into the mind. So that should give you a really good idea of how to bring more stillness in. So society is very mind-based. So the more things we do that society does, the more we're activating and engaging the mind. So look at what's been created from a space of truth. The more we spend in that, the more that high frequency energy, the more we will be. Like I often even pick up my own books, The All-Knowing Diary and My Lives, because they were channeled from a space of truth. When I read them, it brings me into truth again. So anything that's been born from truth will bring us back there. Okay, let's just see what else. Everyone, hello, Kat, thank you. Beautiful, just reading some nice comments. Okay, Kat's asking an important question here. I'm not necessarily answering them in order, I'm just seeing what's showing up here. Kat's asking about beliefs. If they're deeply rooted in the subconscious mind, can they be released? Very important. For one, if we see them as deeply rooted into the subconscious mind, it makes them very hard to be released. And that in itself, deeply rooted in the subconscious mind, is a really great example, Kat, of one of the things that we believe. So our beliefs then drive what's possible for us. So the first thing to know is subconscious beliefs are simply puffs of energy, okay? They're just puffs of energy that, because we thought they were true, that we went, oh, that's me. I'm going to grab that puff of energy and I'm going to stick that in. Oh, that's another thing. I believe that. That's mine, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine. They all relate to me, all these beliefs. That's how I want to identify myself. I'm going to identify with these non-truths. And because we've identified with them, we've stuck them in all parts of our anatomy. So this whole vessel here, not just here, this is our subconscious mind. These beliefs are everywhere, and that's where the illness is being caught. You know, some of these beliefs are so severe, like I'm despised, I'm hated, I'm unwanted, my parents see me as a mistake. Where do you think the cancers are coming from, right? Imagine these beliefs festering in these organs over and over and over again. Imagine beliefs like I'm going to be a terrible mother, just like my mother, straight into the reproductive organs. And yet women are going, why can't I create a baby? What's wrong with me? Well, nothing's wrong with you. You've just got a belief that you grabbed and it got shoved into your ovaries and your reproductive system, your fallopian tubes, saying, I'm going to make a terrible mother, which means the body's not going to then go and create. Same with breast cancer, grabbing some horrible beliefs about being a woman and being a female, and all these things get shoved in different parts. So there is this amazing kind of relationship between beliefs and our anatomy and physiology, and how they're affecting that, and then also how they're affecting financial realities, our emotional state, depression, anxiety. It's all coming back to how we imagine ourselves, how we believe we are. So how do we heal those subconscious beliefs? The simple answer is we've created training around that. We've absolutely done that. It's one of our absolute expertise. The simple answer is truth. When you learn to go into a nice still space, you can go and go into the subconscious, and you can go deeper than that into your true self and learn what the truth is. When you finally see what truth is, the beliefs dissolve, okay? Subconscious beliefs, non-truth, truth, boom, heals that, out of here. That's how you heal your not deeply rooted subconscious beliefs, or even if you see them as deeply rooted. Rather, they're just sitting there as long as we believe they are a reflection of us. Whilst we believe they are truth, we've trapped them in our body, in our head, and that's as long as they say. The minute we no longer see the belief as truth, it goes, because it's not part of us anymore. So we can shift that. All right, I'm going to look at some more questions here. All right, let's have a look here. You guys are very fast with your typing. Wow, this is getting big. Lots of this. Hi there. Okay. Okay, let me just read. Mindful to try to be loving kindness. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you guys for your beautiful support there. My question is, do I stay where I am? Nelly, what does that mean? Can you just be a little bit, is that, let me just see if you added more before that. Okay, Sophie, can you tell us a little bit more about life purpose? Beautiful. Okay, so it's a really good question. Thanks, Sophie, because at the very heart of law of attraction is what we call frequency or vibrational frequency. Whatever frequency we're holding, and frequency can be described as our beingness, how we see ourselves. It's like if we are holding an energy of self-love, that's a very high frequency, pretty much the highest frequency. But if we're holding a frequency of self-loathing or regret, it's a very low frequency. Now, the universe is going to say, I will match the experience based on whatever frequency you're holding. If you are holding a frequency of self-love, I will bring in self-loving experiences and will bring that into you so you can see the power of self-love to reinforce that state of being. The universe wants to reinforce truth. Likewise, it says if you're going to hold a frequency of self-doubt and self-loathing, we'll bring in experiences of that so you can see what that's like and go, oh, I don't want that anymore. So positive and negative reinforcement. The universe says, I'm going to show it either way, and either way you're going to rise and grow and become more for it. Life purpose is to be on your life purpose, is to be in a frequency of self-love. Life purpose is about you giving to yourself in the most fulfilling, ultimate way to do what you're here to do, to be as you're here to be, and that's self-love and life purpose are one and the same thing. And so when you learn what your life purpose is, what you're actually doing is you're saying to the universe, say, all right, I'm ready to do a deal. The universe says, good, we've got a special get two for one offer. You're wanting to live your life purpose. I'll give you double what you'd normally get, because living a life purpose is supporting the whole, which is the universe. And it's saying, if you give to yourself, that's giving to me, the universe, I'm going to give you double for that. And I'm going to help support you in achieving your purpose and getting you to see everything that you are and getting your purpose out there so that others can benefit as well. And I'm going to bring in more and more and more and support you on that journey. So life purpose is really the secret activation switch to get the law of attraction working for you. And that's what I think is just so exciting about this topic is, you know, the movie The Secret didn't even scratch the surface of that. But like all physics in the universe, and I don't mean human physics because scientists know very little about universal physics. When the universe talks about physics and the science of the universe, there are switches. There is very predictable guarantees that the universe is saying, if you live your life purpose, you have my support, no question asked. If you give yourself self-love, you can heal virtually any illness in your body. If you walk the path of wanting to give to yourself and those you love in your family and nurture that, you've got my undivided attention and undivided support. So that's a really good point. If you guys don't know what your life purpose is yet, go to intuitionwisdom.com. We are doing free 15-minute readings, intuitive readings on what your life purpose is. And I would say knowing your life purpose is probably the single most important piece of information you will ever learn in your life. It is what brings everything in. If you're thinking, well, I want to know who my soulmate is, or I want to know where I want to live, knowing your life purpose brings all of that information in as well. So if you were looking for a guarantee in life, and there aren't many, as we all know, living your life purpose, knowing what makes you unique, knowing what makes you extraordinary is one of life's few guarantees at creating success, health, and fulfillment. It's one of life's very few guarantees. So if you don't know your life purpose, please go to intuitionwisdom.com, book in your session to know what it is. So please look at that. I remember when I first learned my life purpose, which was to give truth and enlightenment. Everything in my body just went, oh, you mean I can stop hurrying? You mean I can stop stressing? You mean I can stop comparing myself to everyone else? You mean I can stop competing and trying to be more and trying to be better and please my parents and please this person and be like everyone else? And oh my God, my body just went, thank you, hallelujah. And even just talking about it now, there's just such this beautiful bliss that's kind of washed off over my body going, my purpose, truth, to be in truth, to sit in truth, share truth. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that each day, every day. That doesn't break a sweat. That doesn't give me headaches. And you think of your old life and all the things you've done and you think the things you think you need to do. And we create, the mind like gives us these to-do lists, a mile long, and all these goals we need to achieve and conquer, and we need to be of service to everyone. And when you get your life purpose, you get to see, hang on, that's about me. I didn't know I could make my life about me. I thought I had to make it about everybody else and being of services. And that's what spiritual universe says, hang on, starts with you. Life purpose is about giving to yourself, and in giving to yourself and living an extraordinary life, that just sends ripples. It sends ripples around the world and just makes it possible for other people to step into that space. It shows them, hey, I can make life about me too, and that's not selfish. That's called self-loving. Yeah. So as we step into life purpose, the healing that happens in your body is beyond description. And really, one of the biggest things, like I help a lot of people with illness, and I've spent about the last 20 years helping people heal all the unhealable illnesses, so-called unhealable. And one of the most common remedies to healing some of these illnesses is, well, you've got to step into your life purpose. And as people let that in, and not everyone does, I'll be perfectly honest with you, people kick and scream, but as they do, because they don't see themselves as worthy, as they do let in, I can give to myself, I can love myself, my life doesn't need to be a struggle and hard work, all of a sudden their body goes, I can heal this illness and I can heal that symptom and I can get rid of that pain. All right, so very important. Thanks, Sophie, for bringing that up. It is the linchpin, the activation switch to activating the law of attraction. All right, I'm going to look at some more questions. This is fun. Okay. Yes, the heart to me rules everything, although science says it's the brain. I would give some advice and you can take it or not, but I wouldn't listen to people who are not connected to their true self. Otherwise, everything they're saying is from the mind. So another way to word that is, and I know that's very controversial, but I'm here to pass on the messages as I'm getting them. If you live in the mind, okay, the ego, not the true self, you don't see reality as it is. You don't see science as it truly is. You don't see love as it is, children as they are. You don't see nature as it is. The mind is a veil that is totally distorting what reality is going on here. When you move beyond the mind, beyond totally seeing through the eyes of intuition, through the eyes of your higher self, life looks very different, okay? Science looks very different. Anatomy looks very different. Energy looks very different. When you actually see energy, for one, you can't see that through the mind. So highly caution everyone that if you're going to take guidance, if it's not from your own true self, if you insist on listening to others, And caution around that, of course, is rather listen to those who are seeing without the filter of the mind. Because the mind, as I said, distorts reality, it turns it upside down. So be very, very careful of where you're getting information from. Because really, what's guiding our reality is multiple factors going on. There is what the higher self, the true self, our heart is wanting and guiding us to. There is also our mind, our insecurities, our fears, that's playing an impact. And there's a third one, which not many people are aware of, and that's everybody else's energetic influence. So it depends on whether you're letting mom, dad, husband, wife, the politicians, people have energy, and we sometimes let that into our bodies. And that distorts, that often leads us into depression and all leads us astray. We call it energetic attack. Some people call it a psychic attack. It's not necessarily intentional from the person that's sending it, but when it hits us, it's like an attack. It hurts. So if you've ever been in road rage and you can feel somebody's energy inside of you attacking you, it's like that. We experience it on a daily basis. So there's certain influences that are affecting our decisions, our path forward. These are all the things that we do teach in our courses, how to heal yourself or shield yourself from those. So just very important to keep your energy inward, not be too preoccupied with what everyone else is doing or what they think of you. The minute you think about other people or you're concerned or feel guilty about any of these things, it lets their energy in. So you just be careful with that stuff. Okay, let's see what some other questions. Okay, so if there are millions of limiting beliefs, do we have to release each one individually? You're funny. Well done for buying Mind Lies. Okay, so I would say there's a few thousand beliefs that we're carrying around. Do we need to release all of them individually? To be honest, you don't need to release any of them, okay? I want to get rid of this word need. Need is belief, need is the mind itself. If you see you need to do that, that's just the ego coming in again and going, see how much work you've got to do, see that you're not perfect now, see that there's a problem. It makes life into a problem. The truth is really, what do you want to experience in your life? For example, if you're like, I'm stuck financially, I want to experience more in abundance financially, the universe then suggests, well, you maybe want to clean up some of the beliefs in the financial area or that are holding you back in the financial area. Likewise, if you have relationship or intimacy struggles, the universe suggests maybe look at what beliefs you have in the way of self-love, because then you'll be able to open up and feel love from others and let in those that are of that equal vibration. So you don't need to clear any. It's just a matter of what are you up for? What kind of experience are you up for? For me, anxiety has been a very big part of my life, and even depression over the years. So I set about, I'm going to get rid of all of them. That's kind of my journey, and that's how the book Mind Lies has been written. That was also the result of seeing a very deadly illness inside my body. And it was okay, well, I want to get rid of this. So Mind Lies, I started clearing a lot of beliefs to heal that illness, and that's the book. So I don't want you to come off thinking, oh, I need to clear all my beliefs, because you don't, and it can take a while, to say the least. Rather look at it of, what area do I want more fulfillment in? What area do I want to go deeper in? And that's the area where you might spend a bit more time cleaning up. It's kind of like your house. You're like, well, I don't mind that corner of the house is a little bit grotty. I don't need to clean that. Don't really go there. But that side part of the house, that's where I sleep. So I really want to make sure that's good and that bed's nice and welcoming and open. So you might want to spend a bit more time doing a bit of tidying up, spring cleaning in that part of the area of your life. So it just really depends on what you're up for, what you want out of your life. All right, get into meditation. Okay. Is the goal to eliminate the ego mind or being aware of it? Should we stop the ego okay. Really great question, Eduardo. The answer from the universe on that one that I'm feeling, there is no goal. Okay, there is no goal. There's just choices, opportunities, room for expansion, room for self-love, room to see ourselves as more. If you've got a particularly nasty ego that gives you a really hard time, that stops you from enjoying life, then it's not about trying to get rid of the ego, because the minute you walk down that path, the ego gets very annoyed and it makes life harder. So you don't want to kind of tackle at it, I need to fight. It's kind of like people saying, yeah, I've got to fight with cancer. That never ends well. We don't want to turn anything into a fight or opposition or resistance, because it just makes life so much more of a struggle. The way the universe kind of wants to word it is, rather, it's about seeing the truth. So you don't need to have a goal or a need. It's really, the universe is saying, I want to invite you to see more in yourself. I want you to invite you to see more in me, the universe. And then we'll have a much better time together. That's all. The universe is not attached. It's not in a hurry. Like people think, oh, we're in a hurry to raise consciousness. We're not. It's happening anyway. So just kind of be in a very relaxed, playful, joyous way about it. Of, I might take my whole lifetime. I might take 10 lifetimes. I might do it in a month. I might do it in a year. I might have a realization in a day and change everything. But the more playful you are about it, the less of a hard time your ego is going to give you. But if you decide to make this a battle, you'll experience a battle. All right, hope you help that helps you, Eduardo. Okay, so Nellie's writing a couple of things. Bless the earth, garden, meditate, yoga, practice loving kindness, and yet still small mind tries to put roadblocks. Yeah, it is a tricky one. The mind, the good news, Nellie, is that the kind of, as you grow, the mind really has to work so much harder to stop you. So as you're getting more of these roadblocks, kind of have a bit of a chuckle to yourself and go, I must be going places. And, you know, there are days where I wake up and I just feel all this ego around me, and I feel, or maybe depressed, or I don't want to get up, or what's going to happen to my day. And then I realize, it's like, ooh, God, there must be something big coming in today, because ego's going nuts. Ego knows what's going to come today, what's coming next week, what's coming in a year. It knows, right? So you always get this ego just before something big and powerful, just to knock you off course, miss out on having a breakthrough, miss out on a success or a win, miss out on seeing yourselves as more. So ego is a really good indicator as to what's coming. And as you learn in our training, ego shows up what we believe. So we don't want to turn ego into an enemy or an opposition. I mean, it is opposition by definition. But we want to see it as a guide. When my ego flares up, for example, and it doesn't happen that often anymore, thank God, I've done enough clearing on it, even way beyond the Mind Lies book, which has been a huge journey. But as it flares up, I get to check in and go, well, what's that about? And so, because it shows me what I still need to heal. So it's a very powerful guide in an opposite way. So you have the true self that guides you through truth, but the ego essentially guides us through non-truth. It shows us, oh, I'm having a reaction, I'm having a fear, I'm in a meltdown. Well, what's it trying to show me? Why is this happening? What's coming today? You know, that's big. Or where am I still holding myself back? So ego is a very powerful instigator of healing, of what needs to be looked at, what needs to be addressed. All right, so I've got some more questions here. All right, give me 2 seconds. About relationships with partners, my question and understanding that I am in my journey through yoga meditation. Where do I find the strength to let go of such a love in my life? Okay, so it's about relationships I'm getting from that. Having to read very quickly, not to ignore all our listeners here. So that is from Nellie. Okay. Well, you know, the most important thing is to have the relationship with yourself. And often, if we're not giving ourselves the relationship that we're looking for, then it shows up that the person we're with isn't quite right. They'll even behave differently. We won't get the love and affection that we want from them or the attention. And in fact, we won't even see it if they were giving it to us. So my feeling for that, my advice on that one, Nellie, is, are you really giving yourself the love and attention that you need most? Are you hearing yourself? Are you acknowledging yourself? Are you appreciating yourself? It doesn't feel like you're really appreciating yourself. When you feel fully appreciated, you might get a different sense in your relationship that might start to show up a little bit more fulfilling. So before you do anything drastic there, just see what the relationship is like with you. Once you've got that, you know, you're filled up, you tick that box, then you can look at the other relationship. And, you know, it's so confusing. I mean, the mind plays so many tricks on us. It says, oh, I'm not in love anymore. We've grown apart, and oh, I feel attracted to other people. I just don't have that same spark anymore. Most of that is just fiction. It feels so real. You'd be convinced it's time the relationship parts. But most of that is just coming from the beliefs just reaching a point where they need healing. And I'm seeing it, you know, you get people in their 40s, they reach 40, all of a sudden they're all divorcing. And it's like, well, did you really? I mean, a lot of people partnered up from a space of ego in the first place, so it's good they're going to move on. But then there are those that are separating because they just haven't done the healing on themselves. The relationship is showing up. Heal. You need to heal yourself. They haven't done that work. So instead of healing themselves, they leave. So it's unfortunate, but that's life for many people, isn't it? Who don't cultivate that awareness of their beliefs and what's truth. All right, so let's see what anyone else is writing here. Wow, Kat saying disease in the body cause, yes, dis-ease in the body. That's amazing. Exactly. Okay, so there's a very good question here. So it's interesting how my ego reacted to your book, Mind Lies. Yeah, a lot of people, it's so funny. I know a few people that have it, and their egos will not let them read it. It's just humorous because it is so full. It took me 2 years to write, going in and seeing the truth in me. It is so full of truth that egos will do anything but let people read it, because the ego's biggest fear is its death. That is no longer going to be real, that you are no longer needed. So you're not going to see it as real anymore. So the Mind Lies book is just such an antidote for ego. Egos really have a hard time. That's funny you mentioned that. Okay, so question is, I am really struggling with my ego. Is the purpose to transmute that part of a kind of divine antenna, or remove it and its influence completely? Just to reiterate that, the purpose is just to see truth. Don't make it any harder or more complicated than that. It's simply to go, the ego's there. It's not real. It's not really who I am. It feels real. It feels powerful. It feels more powerful than me. But my true self is not all those doubting, self-hating things, trauma, wounding. I'm not that. My true self is the love, unconditional love, acceptance of where everything is. So one of the most powerful things you can do with your ego at this point is to accept it. Just fully say, ego, I love you. I absolutely love and accept and embrace you. I accept and embrace everything that I am, where I am, because there was no other way to be any different to where I am. There's nothing else to do. Couldn't have done anything different, despite what your ego says that you could have done everything different in life. So one of the most powerful steps is to go, thank you for being there. You're showing me what needs to heal. I'm going to be patient with myself in this process of healing off the non-truths. And I'm going to keep listening to you every time you arc up and rant and rave. I'm going to pay attention because you're going to show me what needs healing. And I'm going to be grateful for that. I remember I was doing a workshop on the Gold Coast years ago, probably 10 years ago now. And one of the attendees said to me, he said, with a very straight face, he said, Daniel, do you love your ego? You wouldn't have believed the explosion that went off inside of me. That was so activating because I was so in battle with my ego at the time. I was having such a difficult time with it. And it's funny because not that you're being asked to love it, but it's so important to go, it's what's here. It's what there is. Kicking and screaming and resenting it and arguing it is like kicking and screaming that you've got a left foot. It's just there. It's what's part of you at the moment, but it isn't real. And the more self-love we give, the more we love ourselves for being what we are, who we are, what we've done, what we've experienced, congratulate ourselves for the life that we're still here, the more we kind of null the negative impacts of the ego. So really important there. But, you know, all the training that we do at Intuition Wisdom has come from my struggles, Sonia's struggles with ego, with illness, with finances, with relationships, with children. We teach how to deal with ego, how to heal it, how to heal your subconscious mind because of all these battles. So that's where our training has come from, and that's the reason it exists, to help you overcome. So every time I came up against a hurdle, an obstacle, I tuned into the universe. The universe, how do I deal with this? I'm being energetically attacked. How do I deal with that? I'm having trouble in my relationship. How do I deal with that? I'm having this physical symptom. I'm having anxiety. How do I deal with that? So please, you know, take our training like really seriously, because it's a solution to all these questions, and it's been channeled. I didn't make it up. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a scientist. I've never been that. I don't read other people's books. I go straight to the source, and our training is the result of those conversations. So truth is, our courses have come from a place of truth. All right, so let's have a look, more questions here. All right. Thanks, Eduardo. He said Beyond the Secret was awesome. I'm grateful. You're beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Sophie. I make it sound easy. Am I saying people manifest cancer every single day? God, how unpopular is that statement going to be? Yes, I am saying that, but you know what? I'm not saying people do it deliberately. This is happening subconsciously, and it's really sad to me because people are going to doctors and saying, I've got cancer, or my wife's got cancer, or my husband's got cancer. And I find it devastating because the doctors aren't going, well, check out, have you looked in your subconscious mind? Have you checked that out? Like, they're not doing that. They're going, go on to chemo, right? And it's just, to me, it's catastrophic. The response doctors are giving people is catastrophic. People are losing husbands, wives. I see it so often. People come to me for help, and some people listen, some people don't. Those who listen survive, those who don't. We've got lots of amazing stories of helping people through these illnesses, and we are manifesting it. It's not something that you have to die from. It doesn't need to be a death sentence. The death sentence is ignorance, is I'm helpless, I'm going to hand over my healing to a doctor. That's the death sentence, is to trust or rely on somebody that doesn't have the whole picture. If somebody is claiming to be a healer, as essentially doctors are, and if they don't look at what's going on in your life, that is the death sentence. That is ignorance. It's neglect. What's the word? It's there's a word I'm wanting to say here. It's negligence. Okay, and you know, this is what we're trying to change in the world, is raise the consciousness that even doctors are becoming aware of. Hey, maybe it's your thoughts that are creating all those symptoms. I mean, your thoughts create stress. Your thoughts stop you from sleeping. Maybe having that kind of thought your entire life might actually cause cancer or disrupt your reproductive system or cause you digestion issues? Maybe. So we need to educate people. So yes, people are manifesting cancer on a daily basis. Some are open to healing. Some are looking for truth. I'll give you an example. My mother died of brain cancer a few years ago. My father called me up and he said, "Can you help her?" And I said, "No, I can't. Not that I won't." I said, "I can't. She has been wanting to die since she was about 25 years old. She was a child of the Holocaust era. She was full of guilt, of self-doubt, of self-hate to such a level she wanted out of here." It was very sad to watch my family experience that. I got on the phone. I told my mother exactly what's at the root cause of the cancer. I told her how to heal the cancer. I told her where it was come from. She had no willingness to want to deal with the truth. A lot of people would rather leave. And that's okay too. We don't need to be attached thinking they have to stay, because her being here was very painful. So let's move away from that topic. Those of you guys who are listening, you have absolute power over healing your body through the power of truth, through the power of wanting to see who you really are and move beyond what the mind has been holding inside the body this whole time. Okay, let's have a look here. There's, okay, so Kat's got a lot of things to say. Okay, so about is generalized fear. Is it a mind lie or ego influence? Okay, I'm not quite clear on what you're asking, so I'm going to go with what I feel needs to be said here. Kind of, there is fear coming from what we believe from our past experiences, our traumas. We fear humiliation, we fear rejection, we fear the ego fears the death of itself. Ultimately, one of our biggest fears is actually getting to see who we truly are and what that means, what we're going to have to give up, what we're going to have to let go of. So, but you know, there's this subtlety, and I'm just trying to see what the message is around it. So give me one sec. No, that's not fear. Okay, good. Just getting clarity on something. So fear is the mind, and ultimately what it fears is its death. So the more we get into connecting with our true self, we can always go, oh, I'm fearing this, I'm fearing that. What's the truth? And you can get that guidance. So it's very powerful. Okay, so let's have a look here. More questions. I can't access them on my screen, so I'm going to look on the phone. Yep, definitely get a session with Sophie about life purpose and connecting to love. Definitely do that. Let's see. Oh, good. All right. So that seems like you guys have covered pretty much. Hopefully, I've covered all the questions. We're about to come to a completion. If anyone has anything more to say, definitely write in the question there. Just to see the key messages to really take home here are, you don't need to do more work on yourself. It's about loving yourself. It's about seeing yourself as more. If you want help with that, we can provide the express train, the fast track to doing that through our programs and through our sessions on intuition wisdom. I highly recommend, I mean, it's a free session, your life purpose, intuitive reading. Why wouldn't you do that? Other than the ego trying to kick and scream and stop you. It's your only reason, and don't let that be the reason. If you're wanting to see yourself as more, be open to the support that's coming through. Sophie, Emma, our practitioners, Tegan, all the girls and guys. If you want to do what I do and you want to help and channel a guidance and answers to other people and help tell them and show them what their life purpose is, I should say, not tell them. You want to help heal people from these beliefs that are causing these cancers and these tumors and fibromyalgia to MS. You know, there's always a belief at the heart of every single one of these illnesses. If you want to help heal those, check out our practitioner training. I mean, that's the ultimate. I believe everyone should do that, because to be able to help yourself heal, to be able to help loved ones heal, help your children. I mean, I have the ability to tap straight into my son or daughter's subconscious mind and see what they need to heal something. They don't know what a doctor is. They've never been to a doctor in 11 years. For one, I can help them. For two, they know how to heal themselves. They know how to access truth. So whether you're to me, the practitioner training is really for everyone. So if that turns out to be your life purpose, we welcome you with open arms to help you. If learning how to heal yourself is where you want to go, we welcome you with open arms to help you on that too. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I will just check if there's any more questions before I finish up. How can we bring more self-love into our lives? It's a very good question, and let me answer that. There are several layers to it, and I'm going to try and give you a few in the short time that we have. And I'm kind of checking you in the universe. How do you want to answer this? Because, you know, there's like 10 key points to it, but it's a diet, okay? It's a diet. Self-love is about making choices that we're not used to making, that we're not conditioned to make. It's about making a choice of, oh, instead of going to that social obligation I don't want to go to, I'll stay at home and look after myself. It's a choice of, instead of working really hard or flogging yourself with exercise, I'm going to take it easy today. And I remember I was in the swimming pool today doing some laps, and I reached a point where I felt really good. And there was such an inclination, a drive to go harder, do more laps. It's like, hang on, what if I actually get out of the pool right now while I'm still feeling good? Amazing. And I did it, and I felt great for the whole day rather than slogged and exhausted. So self-love is about a diet from how society does life. Society says, work harder, push harder, you'll be happier, you'll make more money, more fulfilled. Bullshit, doesn't work like that. Society says, give yourself of service to the others if you are truly to be spiritual. Bullshit, doesn't work like that. Give to yourself, prioritize yourself. Society says, be aware of what others think of you, how they judge you, how they assess you. Look for validation from everyone else in the world. Bullshit, doesn't work like that. Won't lead to self-love. Getting love from other people doesn't lead to self-love. Doesn't work. Listen to the words. And it's about going, well, I can spend my life focused on money, or I can spend my life focused on doing and being what I love, being in a space of love, and therefore doing what I love. When you do that and you're bringing in, you're giving yourself, it's like, what this is about is, it's like gifts. It's like presents for yourself. How do I give to myself everything that I want right now? Is it a beautiful walk? Is it a hug? Will I give myself permission to rest today, to do something loving? Will I eat something delicious and amazing that I feel? Will I only spend time with the people I want rather than putting myself in my family Christmas party because that's what everyone else does, even though I hate doing that, and so I'm going to feel terrible afterwards. So self-love is a diet from living the way everyone else on this world lives and the way and the choices they make. It's about blinkers on. What is the most giving thing for myself right now? Ask that in every moment of every day. And that's how we can bring self-love into our life. All right, we're going to complete there. I hope to see you all at intuitionwisdom.com. Check out the Life Purpose Intuitive Reading. Connect with Sophie, please. She's amazing. She's done our practitioner training, and she is just helping people left, right, and center. She's an inspiration, as you'll find. Emma as well, all the team. And it's been fun chatting and revealing these insights. And I look forward to the next time we all speak together. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being part of this event, and look forward to seeing you all another time. All right, bye for now.